Fabio Quartararo was keen to exit pit lane. Santi Hernandez here, Simon Crowfoot just reporting, keeping an eye on the Ducatis for when they head out on circuit. Perhaps it will be Jack Miller, because Jack needs a lap time. He knows that, and he also knows that Jack won't care one bit.
Yeah, there goes Miller, and Marquez has been released as well. Those two yesterday were brilliant on the opening day here in Austin. First and second in FP1, first and second in FP2. You can see Jack Miller there. He's having a good look at the big screen, isn't he? Above the main grandstand, and he will see right in his tyre tracks is number 93, Marc Marquez.
Oh, foot off the peg here from Marc Marquez. Wow, look at that front end. Bit of a moment earlier in this qualifying session then for the 8-time world champion. It's now or never then. 4 minutes left of this qualifying session. Can anyone snatch pole position off the master?
Yeah, a 2:03, 2:09 then. That's the time that everybody's chasing. At the moment, Jorge Martin will be very, very happy and satisfied, because he's on course to be on the front row for the 4th time in his fledgling MotoGP career.
What's he doing? Is he waiting for them to come around for their first flying lap, perhaps, and then he'll tuck in behind? Alex Rins is sitting up, and he's now going to try and get tucked in behind Fabio Quartararo, who's currently in 5th place.
Yeah, which would equal his worst qualifying performance of the season. Martin then is ready to get back out into the action.
And he'll probably be slotting himself in just behind the riders that are about to come round to start their flying laps. Here's Pecco Bagnaia, as it stands, he would be alongside his championship rival on the grid tomorrow.
You just see there behind Bagnaia is Luca Marini. He's the only man in this session that hasn't so far registered a lap time, of course. He'll be lacking soft rear tyres, having had to come through Q1. There he is on the number 10 bike. He did Q1 exceptionally well. Fastest ahead of Joan Mir in that opening qualifying session.
So out of turn 20 then, Pecco Bagnaia won't mind towing around his good buddy, Luca Marini. What can Bagnaia muster up here? The last 2 Grand Prix, of course, he's been victorious. He's been on pole position.
Vibration there you can see on the front end. Oh, and another big ripple hit by Pecco Bagnaia as he attacked down the hill into turn number 2. The rear unstable as he goes into this snaking first sector here around Austin. This is where Jack Miller, his teammate, has been so good.
Here comes Jack Miller now across the line. So Jack's only going to get 1 flying lap at this.
Yeah,
Bagnaia is up by 2/10.
Talk about under the pump and pressure on then for Jack Miller. It's now or never for him. Fabio Quartararo also fighting for pole position, just as you knew he would be. This is an exceptional lap though coming in from Pecco Bagnaia. Oh, that was loose by Marc Marquez, wasn't it, on the exit of turn number 2? It was really loose on that rear tyre, the Repsol Honda man.
Yeah, we just cut away, didn't we? As it looked like it was getting a bit scary there for Marc Marquez. In the meantime, this is a fantastic lap so far from Pecco Bagnaia. Is he heading here for 3 poles on the trot?
Well, at the moment, he's bang on course for just that achievement. Now then, coming into turns 13 here, isn't he? This tight section. The Ducati's been working so good around this sort of gnarly part of this famous COTA circuit. Now he's coming towards the end of the 3rd sector. We'll keep tabs then on Pecco Bagnaia. Oh, this is unbelievable. What a time this is coming in from Bagnaia. Up by 0.4 of a second. Quartararo, though, and Marquez also trying to fight for pole.
Excellent stuff here from Bagnaia. Quartararo trying to fight as well. Marquez did keep it pinned, although he's just rolled out of it here on this lap, and it looks like that's it then. Marquez might not have pole, because here comes Pecco Bagnaia now out of the final corner. Is it going to be 3 poles on the trot for number 63? It crossed the line, and it is. It's a 2:02.7 from the Italian.
Pecco power back to the fore here in Austin, Texas. Absolutely brilliant job that. Quartararo gets himself on the front row yet again. There is still more drama to come here in Austin. Marquez clinging on to place and on the front row in 3rd.
It's a bitterly disappointing qualifying session for the Aussie Jack Miller. We expected so much more from him. There's no fireworks, I'm afraid, on the Saturday afternoon from him. He's going to be starting down in 10th at best.
That's a disaster. That is a disaster from Jack Miller. He's going to see the checkered flag now and his heart is going to sink because he's missed a golden opportunity here to be in the mix for pole position. Marc Marquez now, all he can do is wait to see if that 203, 209 is going to be good enough to keep him on that front row of the grid. Here comes Taka Nakagami. He's in P5. He's taken the checkered flag as well. And here comes Fabio Quartararo. Hard on the brakes on the factory Yamaha into turn number 11, trying to wrestle back pole position from his main championship rival, Pecco Bagnaia, who still leads with a 202.781.
As we mentioned this morning, it's been a while for Quartararo. He's been on the front row many times, but no pole position since Catalunya before the summer break, although he's lost time in Sector 2.
I think, though, Fabio Quartararo would have definitely signed up for a front row, given the onslaught he faced from the Ducatis this morning in FP3. This will be another brilliant reward for Fabio Quartararo. The top two men in the World Championship are the top two men in this qualifying session yet again. Just behind Fabio Quartararo there is Alex Rins. Is there anything that Rins can do potentially to depose Marc Marquez off that front row of the grid? Martin then in fourth, Nakagami fifth, with Zarco at the moment completing the front row. I don't think there's anything going here for Alex Rins in terms of the front row. He'd dearly love that to move up one row at least from 7th into that top 6.
Yeah, that's definitely possible, isn't it? Quartararo looks set to maybe just improve his time a touch, but he'll have nothing for Bagnaia. I must confess, Bagnaia did not leap out as a favourite for pole here today. Across the line, Quartararo goes second. Rins does not improve, and so he's done it again. Pecco Bagnaia then. A hat-trick of pole positions, and the run of Marc Marquez ends here today.
Well, there's no great shock to see a factory Ducati on pole position after what we've seen so far this weekend, but I've got to admit I did not see it coming from that side of the garage. Pecco Bagnaia, absolutely astonishing ride by him, a 202.781. The smart money was going big time on Jack Miller to be in this position. A disastrous session for the Australian. He's going to start from 10th place, work for him to carve his way through the field, but Pecco Bagnaia makes it 3 pole positions in a row, and what a performance from him here in Austin. Absolutely sensational. He was almost 4 tenths clear of Fabio Quartararo, who does make it 14 poles, 14 front rows rather, in 15 Grand Prix, and Marc Marquez has to settle for a place on the front row.